Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Sealed for Good. Today we'll be talking about how to prime like a pro. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to. Let's get into it. So the first thing you want to know when priming like a pro is understanding why we prime. So primer is there to enhance the adhesion of the overlaying system and also create consistency across the surface. So there are three main primer groups. So primers for non-porous surfaces, primers for porous dry surfaces, and then primers for surfaces that may have some residual moisture. So the first thing you want to do is determine the type of surface that you're applying the primer to. If you've checked the surface with a moisture meter and moisture is present, you'd want to use Gripset E60, P10, or Express H2O vapor barrier. If it's a dry porous surface, then you could use Gripset GP primer or Gripset Express SP primer. And for non-porous surfaces, the right primer would be Gripset SP or the famous OP primer. So once you've determined the type of surface that you'll be applying your primer to, the next thing will be to understand how to prepare that surface. So manufactured surfaces, the main thing to consider is, has it been installed as per the manufacturer's instructions? If it's an in situ surface like concrete or screed, then you'd want to make sure that that surface is stable, and again, checking for moisture or residual moisture content. So it's always recommended to download the most updated version of the TDS, which is available at www.gripset.com. So a really handy pro tip is always you want to ensure that you don't contaminate the primer. You can do this by making sure that the lid is cleaned before you open the pack, and also separating the contents of the original pack into a smaller bucket or tray so that you're not rolling out onto a wall, picking up contaminants, and then dipping it back into the original packet. This way, the primer will last longer, stay fresher, saving you in the long run. So when you're applying the primer, you want to make sure that you're covering the full surface. The best way to do this is ensuring that you're overlapping, moving from left to right, right to left. When using the GP primer and the H2O, if you're using it over a vertical surface, you want to make sure that you've drained the excess primer out of the roller or brush. This way, you're not just letting the primer run all the way off the walls onto the ground. It's just not the most economic way. So the correct way is to let the roller drain out, and then starting from the bottom, then slowly roll up. As the primer gets applied onto the surface, then you can start rolling a little bit faster, covering a larger area. When applying Gripset E60, the one thing you want to ensure, as you're using it as a vapor barrier, that you have no pinholes and that you're covering the whole area sufficiently. A good trick with this is trying to pick the time of day that you apply the primer. The cooler part of the day, or as the day is cooling down, is always going to yield better results when it comes to pinholing. Always check the TDS and respect the coverage rates in those instructions. The other thing to consider with P10 is that you want to apply the product in a slow and steady motion to avoid foaming up of the product. When you're using the non-porous primers, SP and OP, again, you want to make sure that you're respecting the coverage rates that are on the TDS and ensuring that any metallic or plastic surfaces are cleaned thoroughly and that there's no grease or oil residue from the production of those products. So if you're ever out in the field and you need some assistance, always reach out to the Gripset technical staff. They're always willing and waiting to help you out. Or give us a call on 1-800-650-435. And to take your waterproofing to the next level, we also offer Gripset GAPP training to create the expert waterproofer. To find out more information, just click on the link below. And once again, thank you for joining us.